Hi guys, hi everyone. Thursday night. Is anybody awake? Thanks for joining. We usually give everybody a minute to join before I get into the topics of the live. This is a live that's educational about mindset and manifestation. Join if you want to learn. Join if you have more questions. Join if you're doing the 60-day challenge in my bio. Join if you're part of the Facebook group and participate. The more you engage with the group and with others, the more you can take advantage of the group energy. If somebody has a success story, make sure you acknowledge them and congratulate them and be as happy for them as you would be for yourself. That's the whole premise of this group. Hi everyone, we're going to get going in just a second. I've asked you guys to pay close attention to your dreams, and I'm going to talk about that at the end of the live. Hopefully most of you have been able to dream and have recorded your dreams. The 60-day challenge, guys. So I talked to somebody today who she didn't really want to focus on relationships, and that's fine. I understand everybody's at a different point in their lives. But when I asked her what she put in the columns for that I have designated to relationships, she basically said, oh, I deleted that column. Guys, do not make any changes to the 60-day challenge, okay? I don't advertise it that way, but this spreadsheet does have power. I just want you guys not to change anything and to do it exactly as per the instructions. Even if you're not focused on the relationship, your affirmations need to be, I'm a high-value woman, I'm always acknowledged and desired. Affirm for others in the group, because the majority of the group do want relationships and can't wait to have relationships. So this whole work is based on do not customize anything except your affirmations. In order to pick up and ride on the group's energy, you must do the challenge exactly as I describe it, okay? It makes sense, right? So that's what you need to do, whether you want something in an area of your life or not. Also, I want you to remember the reason this challenge is holistic. It's important, right? Because sometimes we zoom in into one area of our lives. And what happens when you zoom into one area is you're giving it a lot of importance. Okay, this work of manifestation has to be holistic in terms of all the aspects of your life, money, career, relationships. You have to feel your self-concept is being raised into all of these at once. Now, it's not going to be in the same proportion into all of this at the same time, but it's important that one area is not lagging. The area that's lagging is the area that's going to hold you back. Yes, holistic means it covers all areas. You have to want to develop yourself in all areas. Don't say, I'm not focused on money right now. I just want to make things work with my husband. Or I'm not focused on relationships. I just want to earn $20,000 a month. Do not, because once you put that goal, that financial goal or that SP goal, what happens is it's okay to have one goal, set it and leave it there. And now holistically work on yourself. But if that's your obsessive thought, you're giving it so much importance that there's no way your energetic system can match with the amplified importance you're giving this thing, right? When you're giving something a thought, you're giving it energy. You're giving part of your energy. You need to bring yourself on par with that thing in order for that thing to manifest. It's the same thing as when they say you have to match the vibration of that thing, okay? You have to be on par. So please remember that. Don't make any changes to the 60-day challenge. And I get questions, what do I do about the past manifestations, right? Because I don't know, there's this now, because people have been manifesting our group manifestations that I given like 2 months ago, 3 months ago. Everybody who's new is like, well, what do I need to do to manifest them? Now there's a lot of them, right? There's a lot of history of them. So I want you to read the list of what the previous manifestations were one time and then just drop it. It will come to you. The majority of them will come to you. Yeah, somebody says, I've been obsessed with my goal and it's stressful. Yeah, it's stressful, and the more you're obsessed with it, the further it's going to move from you for the reason I just described. This is why you have to do this challenge. By the way, if you did the challenge a few months ago, I put it out at the end of May. If you did it a few months ago, please repeat it. In this energetic system that you hold, this is something new. You're not the same person you were a few months ago. Just repeat the challenge from scratch. Okay, either save it as a different file and delete everything else, or just delete it completely and then restart based on my instructions. Yeah, when you're obsessed with something, you're definitely not letting it go. Should I text my SB, happy birthday, we're in no contact? No. You're in no contact, there's no need for you to make contact. Yeah, restart it. All right, the Facebook group, guys, if you're doing the 60-day challenge, please join the Facebook group. Sorry, I don't take calls during my live, guys, don't call me. Please join the Facebook group for 2 months. The price is like $5 a month. Do it for like $10 because you need to follow along with the manifestations that the group is making and whatever else educational that's being posted there. There's no spam. There's no random questions, unless it has to do with the material. There's no emotional dumping. So nothing in this group is going to trigger you. Please join the group because you need to follow along. How do you let go of timing when you want a specific date for the manifestation? Depends what it is, if it's a need, or it depends if it's just a want that it happens by a certain date. Generally, all your manifestations should happen within a time that is reasonably expected in collective consciousness. What do I mean by this? If you want to manifest marriage, you know, putting in your mind that you're going to be engaged in 18 months to 2 years is absolutely reasonable. I would say 18 months is reasonable for most people if you're single, right? Because by the time you meet somebody, getting a job, reasonably expect to get that within 3 months, right? So there's this reasonable amount of times that your brain can work with. And as long as that time is met, and if you haven't manifested it, you're doing something wrong, right? Like your mind isn't right about it. There are some limiting beliefs about it. You know, now if your timing is short, and then there's an immediate need, right? It would be all very situational dependent. So I don't think I can answer that like loosely. All right. Manifestation of this week, the number 468, which is our group number, the infinity symbol, or preferably both, and an abnormal reaction to 3D. I was asked, what does it mean, an abnormal reaction to 3D? An abnormal reaction to 3D means when something happens this week, you are going to do the opposite or something different than what you generally would offer as a response. This is mostly for a trigger. When something negative happens, how are you triggered? When somebody says a bad word to you, when your mother annoys you, when your spouse annoys you, how are you going to handle it differently? Right? How are you going to handle it differently? Yeah, somebody keeps asking me about the SP and stuff. You should wait until the SP makes contact, especially if you're doing this work. That's my advice, right? What if you wish him happy birthday and he doesn't reply? Or he just says thanks, right? Where does that leave you? That leaves you into a pool of confusion. And from this pool of confusion, right, you now just polluted your energy system with this confusing energy. He's going to say thanks, or he's going to say thanks, what are you doing? Or do you know what I mean? He's not going to say thank you and I love you. He's probably not going to say that, because if he did love you, he would already have contacted you. Okay, guys, please stop being obsessed with the SPs and wishing them happy birthday and doing all these things for them. You've already done enough for them when you're in a relationship with them, and they haven't reciprocated. Now it's time for a new you. That's why we're doing this work. It's time for a new you. Okay? Join us in this work if you're tired of life being a random series of events. And if you want to have more control over your life, if you don't, or if that scares you, then this work is not for you. This work is all about setting your mind such that you achieve your goals, right? There is a mystical part to it only because we haven't been taught how reality works. That's the only mystical part. But really what magic is just science that's not yet understood. That's all there is. Right? And my suspicion is that they did understand this like many, many years ago. But then they edited out this information from our educational system. Right? All right. Okay, one more thing to this queen. I tried manifesting him back since we broke up in the spring. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Your whole focus is on him. That's what you're doing wrong. Your whole focus is on him. All right, I gotta get into the material because we have a lot today. So what I usually do during these lives is I take up some questions that I get on emails, and I'm not able to coach people on my email back and forth for free. I have a coaching sessions, but I know not everybody can afford it. So because of that, I want to help as many people as possible. I pick some questions that would have pertinence or educational value for other people. Okay, so I have a few of them today and I want to get right into it. All right. This queen says, I'm writing today because one of my successful manifestations is being taken away. Last year, I set an intention to attract a job with a private office, a higher salary, bi-weekly pay, and a flexible schedule where I can work from home a few times a week. I got this exact position about a year ago. Every single detail, and at one point, I even got a salary increase. It was great. But then things started changing. About a month ago, they told everyone to be back in the office Monday to Friday, regular business hours, goodbye flexible schedule. At this time, we're also told that we are instituting an open door policy, so no more privacy of the office. And finally, I received an email from HR that effectively next week, we will be paid monthly instead of bi-weekly. My salary is still the same, but I no longer be getting the bi-weekly pay I originally asked for. Every single thing I manifested in regards to this job is slowly drifting away from me. More and more, I'm feeling like a corporate drone again and again after having some feeling of freedom. My intuition is telling me that this is happening for a reason, maybe an opportunity to pivot towards my own business full time, but to be quite honest, I'm terrified to quit because the salary is a safety net. It's what has been paying the bills and that. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Okay, so in regards to the last part, success is always on the other side of fear, right? You'll never be successful in your own business if you don't quit your full-time job, right? That doesn't happen. That never happens for people to have this thing on the side that's more successful than their job. So that's one thing about success. Now, I don't know enough details about you to address whether you should quit your job or not, but I can speak about manifesting something very specific and those specific things being taken away from you slowly, because it happened to a lot of queens. Generally, it doesn't really happen with jobs, generally happens with SPs. You know, you do something, you manifest them back. They're exactly the way you want it. They even say the things that you scripted about, and then they kind of go away again and they hurt you again and things like this. So there's two ways of accessing the formal substance and manifesting things. Sometimes in moments when we feel very empowered, very powerful, or when we have somehow we make this heart-mind connection, sometimes unconsciously. When we make it and with a strong emotion, we pour something out there, something's going to come out of it. Sometimes it understands exactly what we're saying, but this work is done sort of like a spell-like work, right? So when you manifest a job where you know these are privileges that you kind of created via a spell or via a manifestation, via something magical, is your self-concept strong enough to sustain this spell? This is the concept, right? And are you going to be able to bring your awareness into every day to sustain this energetic thing that you have created, that you know is not normally there for other people? You know you've done something special. So the idea is most people cannot. This is why their SPs leave them over and over after you manifest them. Or in this case with the job, I think it was a striking example of how this can happen, and slowly you lose the things that you know you manifested. The second way to manifest is by changing your self-concept and your position in the world, as well as your view on how the world works. The way to do this is to increase your value, to increase your worth internally, to do all this work that we're talking about. Do my challenge to start. That's just like a starting point, right? When you figure out how the world responds differently to you, you ride on that energy to go slowly to the next level. This is not an overnight thing. It doesn't happen overnight. Maybe for 1 in a million people, that could be a huge psychological awakening. This usually happens in, with religious converts. If you've seen Jesus one time and you're changed for life, this can happen, but it doesn't happen for the average people. So unless you can bring yourself energetically to a different level of you slowly, such that this level of you having these privileges would be no big deal, right? Flexible schedule, getting paid bi-weekly. You know, when I'm reading this, you know, for me, all of these would be like such basics, right? But for this queen, she manifested it because she's thinking she needs to do this extra work just to get these things in her life, right? That's the idea. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. It's like putting something on a pedestal versus working on yourself. Sometimes you reach that pedestal, but can you hang on to it is the real question, right? So when you reach it, are you going to be able to be aware of it and sustain it with your energy day after day? That's not likely. So it's all going to unravel. It's just like a spell that's unraveling. It does make a lot of sense. I'm glad. Sandra says, I want to pursue my passion, but not for the money. Can money still come? Maybe via passion work or something else. I am okay. If not, can be nice. I'm not sure the last part. But money generally follows when you pursue a passion for long enough, right? The idea is we haven't been trained to pursue a passion for money. We have been trained to do the opposite. So we actually associate a steady income with doing something we hate, right? Because the way the school system works is it teaches you, let's look at the jobs that produce a lot of money, right? And depending on the income level you want to have and you want to live on, you're going to pick one of those jobs. And you're going to train in that field and you're going to graduate and do that job. And nobody's wondering whether or not you like it. Even you're saying, I don't really like it, but this is where I can make, 100 grand a year, 200 grand a year, whatever it is people want to make. So when you're saying, is money going to follow my passion? It always does if you can give it long enough. Okay, if you expect that the money will follow in month 2, or you're going to quit if you're in a social position where you can't cover your expenses, it's more difficult. Remember the hierarchy of needs, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You have to watch that video if you haven't seen it. It's on my YouTube. If you're in the bottom 2 levels, all that you should be working on is manifesting yourself out of that. Can I manifest being treated better by people and friends? Yes, by not worrying about them at all. Just not worrying about them. They're not friends of yours if they don't treat you well. And by focusing and doing this work about yourself. Just think of it that you're the only person in the world and the only person that matters. Unless you're a mother. If you're a mother, it's different. Like to manifest. I would like to manifest being with my SP for the holidays, but I know we shouldn't focus on time. I think with the holidays, like do a theme, an image in your mind that I have a video where you dissolve it in your heart and then you walk the image through, speak about it. Oh, I'm so happy to be with you on the holiday, and then envision it, right? So first you take a photograph of a scene of you and him and a Christmas tree. You dissolve that photograph inside your heart. And then it comes up, you're going to speak about it. You see it rising through your body, right? You speak about it, and then you have this clear vision. Yeah, main character energy only. You know what? It's so easy to say. It's so easy to say because most people, okay, not only are they see themselves as secondary characters or as insignificant in the world, but even the people who can see themselves important, the majority, they have this like moments of lucidity where they see themselves that, and then they admit, they're like, well, I've fallen back. Like it's like falling back asleep, while being anywhere. Try to hold your main character energy for an hour. See if that works when you're interacting with the world. Does it work? Do you feel like the stage light on you for an hour? Can anybody do it for an hour? Yeah, mothers need to worry about their kids first. You can get rid of this weight after manifesting for months. Well, you'd have to tell me how you're manifesting it and what your self-concept is. First of all, if you have a weight that you don't want on your body, remember you have to disassociate from the body. You have to say, this is my body, this is not you. It's not you carrying extra weight, it's your body. And you have to instruct your body into the way you want it to look. Just say, I love you, body. You're my vehicle in this world, and I would like you to look this way. And in your mind, see it clearly. I love you, and I want you to look this way. But you are not the body. You're not the person in the mirror. That is your body. Okay. Now move right into the second story. And this one is interesting. I want you guys to pay attention. This is like one of those manifestation stories that when you get it, it might not make you happy. Okay? So this queen says, I have entered into a very painful time of my life. Through this work, she's doing the 60-day challenge. Whether intentional or by accident, I have manifested a divorce from my husband. I did not want this, but perhaps brought this on because I have been manifested to be pursued, to be adored, to be in a passionate, exciting relationship with somebody that I'm attracted to. I know that for things to manifest, there has to be room made for the experience. But I did not realize it would come in the form of a divorce and disappointing members of my religion, friends, and family. I am trying to remain positive and trust the universe and that everything will always work out for me and I always get what I want or better, but this is a very crushing time for me. My husband saw that I was on your Facebook group and removed me from it. And right now, I do not have a private way to be on your Facebook group until I can get a way to spend money that is private. I began the 60-day challenge over today. And even though he checks the computer to make sure I'm not doing it, I am secretly doing it on my phone to continue working with the group. I continue to watch your lives and continue to project positive affirmations for the group. I am very confused as what I should be affirming because part of me wants to just try to save my marriage and seek to be happy, but another part of me wants to start over and experience a better reality that fulfills everything on my image board. So, here we have a massive disconnection between heart and mind, right? Heart and mind are like going like this. They're supposed to. But I sort of like didn't really understand how the husband is involved with, the 60-day challenge and what's going on, right? So I didn't really, this kind of control thing also kind of makes me very mad as a woman, So I'm trying not to internalize that feeling, but it does, it's a bit upsetting. So I asked her, like, I don't understand, what does the 60-day challenge have to do with him, So I said, how did he even like know about it? Did you tell him about it? I told you guys, don't talk about this work with anybody. So she says, part B, what happened was my affirmations, I was saying things like, I was writing things like, I am pursued by a man that I am attracted to. Or I am in a passionate relationship with a man that I'm attracted to. Unfortunately, I have not been attracted to my husband for over 15 years. We have been married a long time and have made a good life together for the kids, but I always felt that the marriage has been neglectful, unloving, and more like a business partnership than loving companion. I feel like perhaps writing these affirmations rather than affirming to try to be attracted to my husband and getting fulfillment through my husband, I was manifesting someone else. No kidding. I don't know what I thought would happen. I just wanted the second half of my life to feel adored and appreciated. The reason for the divorce, pay attention to this, came up because my husband noticed I had been getting a lot of attention from other men all of a sudden and naturally became upset when he noticed me returning the attention. So she's doing these affirmations, okay? I am wanted, I'm pursued by a man I'm attracted to, I'm in a relationship with a man I'm attracted to. All of a sudden, this man, now she's been married for over 15 years, okay? So she's not 25 years old. All of this man, her world is changing to match the affirmation, which is exactly what I told you guys was going to happen, okay? So she's continuing on. I hope you can try not to judge me. I know this behavior is unbecoming of a wife. So pay attention because you guys know I don't judge anybody, right? But she's judging herself at this point. But the validation, attention, and feeling of being pursued was very addictive to me and hard to encourage. I'm sorry if this disappoints you. It doesn't disappoint me at all, Queen. It just disappoints you, I think. This is why you said it. So I'm bringing this up because you have to pay attention. Once we start talking, all the limiting beliefs comes up. So once he saw men pursuing me, he decided to search my phone and computer. And that is when he found the 60-day challenge and read all the affirmations that he felt clearly were not about him and was certainly about someone else, even if I was fantasizing. So he partly blames the 60-day challenge for me venturing out, and that's why he deleted it. I never once told him about it. He just found it. I'm confused because I don't know if I should allow the divorce to happen and try to find somebody more compatible, or if I should try to keep my marriage together and trying to find love and passion from my spouse. Right now, I'm very ashamed to admit it. I do not like being married to him, but because he's a good provider and I don't want to disappoint the people around me, I feel like I should stay with him, even though sometimes I feel like I would rather be alone than married. This is probably one of those tests I need to pass for the formless substance to manifest my true desires, but it's complicated when there are more people besides myself affected by my desires. She's saying, is it wrong to ask the universe for guidance, or do I need to make a decision on my own and affirm for that decision? Okay, this is the end of it. This was like major lessons here, okay? So, didn't I tell you to put a password on the spreadsheet? Yes, I did tell you. I told everybody, put a password on that Excel file. Nobody should be reading your desires, but it doesn't matter because if he hadn't found that, she still would have had to deal with the results of what she's manifesting. She's clearly putting, I'm pursued by a man that I'm attracted to. She's not attracted to her husband. She was obvious. I am in a passionate relationship with a man that I'm attracted to. So what do you think when you put those affirmations? Guys, the universe, we have the creator, we have the formless substance, we have us. The formless substance is not going to tell you what you want. You have to tell it what you want. If you are part and you are connected and you're dedicated, and it seems like this queen is, and you're riding on this group energy, whatever you say is going to happen if that's aligned with your heart desire. Because right now your thought is on this other men who pursue, who adore you, who are attracted to you all of a sudden that you're attracted to. So the heart-mind connection happens right away, right? And it doesn't, the reason other affirmations don't happen is because you don't get this heart connection. This is hard to match with money, but it's very easy to match with love when you don't have a specific person in mind. When you have a specific person in mind, like we discussed, because you're objectifying him, things become different. But when you're creating this abstract ideal of men, of what you want in the relationship, you're staying focused on what you want as a feeling, as an achievement out of it, it will manifest immediately, like within a few weeks, within a couple of months. You will see the world reacting very differently to you. You will see this group's energy is very powerful. Exactly. So this is, it's sort of a tale of pay attention, because this could happen. In order to get what you want, you must know what you want. Guys, you must know what you want, right? Right now, this is very difficult for her as a situation because her wish was fulfilled. Okay, and in fact, if he hadn't found this and everything, she would like have somebody, you know, who knows, maybe she would have gone astray already. And again, this isn't judgment. I don't care at all about that. I just care about the results of the manifestation and how it works. I'm saying, if you're in a social situation with somebody you don't really like, be prepared for this thing to crumble. Okay? It's not going to magically, you're not going to entrap this person's consciousness into doing whatever it is that you want to do necessarily. The universe will fulfill it in the easiest way possible for the universe, not in the easiest way possible for you. Get it? The universe always works to expand the least amount of energy, not the most amount of energy, trying to figure out, but wait, it would be better for her if we could make her attracted to her husband. No, it's just like, oh, people who are attracted to you, okay, you're going to run into them. They're going to immediately react to you, right? So now she finds herself in this position where her heart and mind are in total contradiction. right? Because our mind doesn't want anything. It just executes. It's our heart that has the wants and the desires. Okay? The mind executes based on social constructs, based on what we're told, based on logic, it's very, very seldom that people actually execute on their heart's desires, right? So she's executing, in this world, you have to stay married, and my kids expect me to stay married, but her heart wants that passion that she hasn't had in over 15 years, right? She hasn't, and all of a sudden, the problem is she actually saw that she can get it easily. So she's asking what she should do. Should she ask the universe on what she should do? Is it okay to ask the universe? Now, depends who you think the universe is. If you think the universe is God, okay, then definitely you can ask God, the creator. But what we teach here when we understand about the universe, which is this technology in the middle, this technology in the middle cannot advise you. It just gives you. It just gives you based on your positive and negative thoughts. Right now, it's executed flawlessly on your instructions, right? It's just that the existing structure is crumbling now because the existing structure doesn't match your concept of being adored. So, what do you guys think? We have to give her a little bit of advice here. And I'm wary of advising women to break up their marriages. That's not what this thing is all about. The thing is all about is you have to decide in life at what point you become the main character of your life. And it's okay if you decide that's never. Because like I said, as a mom, you may decide that's never, right? You may decide that you don't want to disturb your relationship with your kids. You don't want to disturb your relationship with your religious community or what have you. That's called living for other people. And I'm not saying that's wrong. That's just a choice, right? It's a choice that you make. You still make it with your free will. You're saying, my heart, goodbye. What I want, goodbye. Okay? Or you're saying, what I want is the most important. I'm the main character energy. All of you, goodbye. Whoever's on my side and thinks I deserve to have my heart's desire will stay in my life. And whoever won't, goodbye. Right? But it's goodbye to one of these things. What's it gonna be? Anybody? Anybody wants to give some advice on this? This is a complex story, and it's a very powerful story of manifestation. Queen, I want to read you some comments. I know you're going to watch this later on YouTube if not watching this. In her heart, she already knows her answer. I'm going to read the comments because they don't get translated in Facebook. In her heart, she already knows the answer. She can manifest any reality she chooses. That's correct. I think she already knows what she wants to do, but she's afraid to move forward. That's correct. She should choose herself. I advise her to observe how the husband energy and action are affecting her and how she feels. Look, the husband probably loves her. The husband probably loves her in the way that he was raised to love, and he understood what love is, and that is by providing. She's saying that he's been a great provider, and he sees his role as a man as a provider, and for him that's the way to express love towards his wife. Sounds like he's faithful as well. So somebody else says, sounds like she's scared for a change, but she wants a change. Aren't we all? Aren't we all scared for a change, but we all want a change? My gut feeling is that she just needs to commit to one thing and she can make it work perfectly. He can be a good provider even if she leaves. Yeah, I don't think that's her problem. I think her problem is disappointing. She's even worried about disappointing me. I'm sorry if this disappoints you, she says. I know my behavior is unbecoming of a wife, but the validation, attention, and feeling of being pursued was very addictive to me and hard not to encourage. I would say any woman would have a hard time not encouraging that when she hasn't felt that for 15 years. Guys, So I don't judge this at all. You know, it's just in life. You have to decide, are you going to accept your role as a sufferer, or are you going to do something about it? But I think this work, look, this work has proven to you that you can have any role you want. Any role you want. And I think you should keep doing the challenge and the affirmations that you want to make. Perhaps if you want to make it husband-like, you could never make it about another person specifically, okay? I tell everybody this. Do not put John Smith and I are in a passionate relationship. But you can say, I am married to a man who adores me and who shows me passion. But the problem with that is it might end up that the universe breaks you up with this man anyways in order to bring you a husband that you'd feel that with, right? So either way, you really have to think about what you want, Queen. Like how you want your life to be. In fact, in every manifestation story, I tell everybody, if you want to manifest a successful business or you want to manifest $1 million, what is really the lifestyle that you are after? What is really the lifestyle that you're after? If the lifestyle that you're after is, I need my kids to accept me and I cannot go through, you know, it sounds like her kids are older, but I cannot go through any points where they wouldn't be talking to me or I couldn't handle it, okay? Then your choice is very clear. If you're choosing, I've done everything for these people and now it's time for me, because, you know, life is short and it's not just about survival and it's not just about serving others. And it's not, you gotta have the profoundness of the experience, okay? If you just live to go to work and pay the bills and raise the kids and then die, you know, and stay with the person you feel nothing for, you know, I would say, you know, even if you have everything like food on the table and a nice house, then you didn't have a profound experience of life, right? Like you didn't really derive meaning out of it. This is why a lot of people these days, they have a middle-age crisis actually later in life, later than middle age used to be called. They have it at 50 and over 50 because, you know, they're like, oh my God, I got like 30 more years. But really, the next 15 are going to be meaningful. So what am I going to do for next 15? Because the previous 15 flew by pretty quickly, right? So that's sort of, I just want to wrap it up. Number one, your biggest critic and judge is yourself, right? So when you say, I'm sorry if this disappoints you, I know you're disappointed in yourself. I want you to keep in touch with me, and you know, I will just send me another note and I will put you on the Facebook group. Just because of the situation, I know the credit card, you know, like he would see it if you joined. It's like $5 a month. It doesn't matter in this case. But I really want you to think that it's not the universe that is going to make this decision for you. It has to be you. Okay, it has to be you, and the universe will execute. This is what is called free will. When you didn't exercise your free will, your life unfolded the way it was before the 60-day challenge. Before the 60-day challenge, your life unfolded based on whatever the script was. If you want, you can let that keep unfolding. Then stop doing the challenge and burn this whole concepts, because they're only going to hurt you. They're going to hurt you by showing you the things that you could have. If only you weren't in this situation. You have to pick. You gotta move forward with the work. You gotta move forward with this. Get it? Yeah. Somebody says she needs to talk to her husband and tell him everything she feels, and goes from there and go from there. It's pretty difficult to tell a man, I haven't been attracted to you for 15 years though. I would have to say men can't really handle that. The blow to their ego would be like, if you sort of be like, oh, the last 2 months haven't been great, I haven't been feeling it, that's the time to work on it. If you're saying for 15 years, like I was kind of like, you know, it's difficult. Everything is difficult in this situation, I would say. No, they can't handle it, no. And 15 years is a long time to tell somebody I haven't wanting to touch you for 15 years. It's ick, right? From the other person's perspective, like somebody said that to me, I'd be like, what the hell? I'm not going to work on this. There's no way. Even me, like, there's no way, right? Anybody tells you, so for 15 years you've been fantasizing about other people, forget you. Forget it. So heart and mind need to connect in order for anything to manifest in your life. In your case, you manifested love or attraction or whatever it was because you thought about it, and in your heart that's what you truly desire. Yes, it's a really rough situation all around. All right, I'm gonna get into the next one, which is my last one, and afterwards, if you guys wanna, I'll take some questions. This queen says, my SP just went insane. He just got back in contact. So this person is in the 60-day challenge, maybe day, I don't know, 40. He just got back in contact today. Anyway, we went from having another heart-to-heart. It was a genuinely normal conversation. Then he asked about what I want, and I told him how I want to wait for the right person and I want to be their only focus. And he made it clear to me this talk turned him on. Men are honestly so stupid, she says. Again, I'm paying attention to what people are saying because that's what they're thinking, and this is what unfolds in their minds. So when you think men are so stupid, okay, what unfolds for you is a whole bunch of stupid men. So pay attention. Then she says he went directly into him wanting passionate talk. We all know what that is. Even saying he will come over to see me. She's in another country than this SP. And he will book to fly over. And I was like, no. He made it more about sex, and I made it clear I'm not up for that. And if he wants me to play along in that department, I won't be sharing with him. I won't be sharing him with anyone else. And he needs to focus on me and only me. So she's enforcing standards and boundaries. This made him even more into a caveman. He became like a puppet on a string and was extremely turned on by my self-respect. He's clearly into a certain kink, which is actually fine by me, but that's not for him to know, and I made it clear he genuinely doesn't deserve to know. Again, he was turned on. His words. I made it clear I know what I want, and he needs to figure out what he wants if he wants to keep talking to me. But here's what I am bloody annoyed. Because I manifested this. Because I've been thinking about him in that way and this scenario. I am a woman and not completely dead inside, but this outcome isn't exactly what I wanted in my head. My head wanted romance. My energy did send out a very different signal. What did I expect? So my question is, how do sensual women navigate this so it doesn't happen to begin with? You envision passion with him, and he comes back passionate. Now you're insulted. If you want to marry him, why don't you just see yourself in a wedding dress? Well, I have sex thoughts about him. You know what I'm saying? What is it that like I'm serious. It's not watch your words, guys. Men are stupid, all men cheat, no man, no man will give me what I want. They don't understand women. Watch your words. Watch your words when you're talking about the opposite sex. So that would be everything. This group, honestly, it's gaining more energy and more momentum. I am going to tell you, it's going to be like this. It's just that the universe is rather literal because it doesn't think about your well-being. It just executes. It's not God. I want to be very clear. The universe is not God. It's not the same thing, right? There's people who manifested things that they couldn't handle. And the internet is full of the stories. They call it, even they associate it with Kundalini awakenings and all sorts of things. And they said, I couldn't handle it. I started to seek out Jesus and pray that, I'm relieved of this power and of this, it's, the universe executes blindly. Make sure you give clear instruction. And the way to give clear instruction, so number one, the thing you should do is if you're part of a group, you're riding on group energies, give to others. The way we give to others energy is we get involved with them, or you get involved with our success stories. We are as happy for them as we would be for ourselves. We affirm for them for parts of the day. You want, when something good happens to you, you send it back to the group and you want the same result for everybody else. When you have a moment of happiness, you want the same result for everyone else who's in this group energy, who helped you create this result. Okay, number 2, you have to be incredibly clear. Okay, if you say, I am adored and pursued, and every man who sees me wants a piece of me, be very prepared for passionate men, for lusting eyes when you go to stores, for people to say, hey, sexy, for people to want, because you're now emanating this sexual energy, right? You have to really know what you want to be emanating. It's going to be very easy to switch into that mode, you know? So, you know, this is the idea. The idea is you have to be extremely clear with the universe. If you want, okay, I recommend everybody gets a scripting journal. And in that scripting journal, which is not the same word because it's a 60-day challenge, the scripting journal will be about scripting about your day as this new person that you're living. Your new life. Okay, so if you're single, this is easy, right? I wake up in my adoring husband's arms. He tells me he loves me every single day, etc. But if you're in this woman's case, the one before with the husband, that she hasn't felt anything for 15 years, it's hard to make that affirmation, right? Because what if he turns out obsessed, the current husband, and she still doesn't want him? You cannot really trick your mind to want somebody. I don't think so. I think you can trick your mind to settle for someone, to accept the situation, but you cannot trick your heart into wanting that. Yes, I script daily. I would say like 6 days a week. I might miss a day, like I'm not obsessive about it, but I script daily, I would say. Can you make a video about scripting? Yeah, let me write this down. About scripting. And I told you guys, buy a beautiful journal, okay? Don't buy something from the dollar store. Buy something nice, like 20 bucks, you know, something that it's your secret space for your secret life that you're manifesting, you know? You want to manifest, I'm assuming, abundance, love, prosperity, health, beautiful body, beauty, you know, put that in a beautiful place. So do you script about the life or the day you want? You can flip-flop through that. You have long-term and short-term goals. The scripting about the day in the life you want is like taking an image of that person, like you a year from now, once you're married with the love of your life, right? So you can take a picture of that day and be like, what have we been doing today? And, you know, it doesn't have to be grand, right? Like when you're describing a day, it could be like, you know, so happy to see him when I got home. He had already made dinner for me. We cuddled and we watched Netflix. You know, keep it to the day-to-day. Envision yourself living this life. But as well, you can sometimes script about long-term goals. Oh, I was walking the corridors at Google or whatever you want to work. And then I look up some actual people that work at Google's that were executive, the VP of finance. I saw John and I said, hello, you know? So, you know, you can script about that. Is this the 5-page script you spoke about? You should be able to do 5 pages on your new life, but I would say do 1 page a day. I only do 1 page a day. And I find things to fill it with, you know? And if you run out of things to script, just write about what you feel you deserve, even if you don't feel you deserve it in that moment. I deserve love. I deserve to earn whatever, 10,000 a month, 500,000 a month. I deserve to be respected when I walk in the world. I deserve great friends. I deserve to have a new car. I deserve this thing, you know? I deserve... What is this? Okay, hold on. I didn't think like I have to block people, you know, in my lives, because my lives are like educational and I generally attract really good people. But sometimes they creep in. It is so easy to get rid of limiting beliefs with scripting. Yeah. Everything that you do repeatedly will reshape your mind. That's really the secret to manifesting. Every time you do something repeatedly, it reshapes your mind. You just have to stay strong in that conviction and just repeat it. But not, I can't do robotic affirmations. I know some coaches will tell you do robotic affirmations. I can't do it. It gives me a headache. It just seems pointless and worthless. And if it seems that way to you, try them, because it's the easiest thing, okay, to do. You don't need to do any thinking. But if at some point it's having it's like giving you the ick, oh, I got to start doing this thing again, then just leave it. It's not for you. It's better to be in a creative flow. If you're a creative person, robotic affirmations will probably not work for you. Pay attention, okay? Because your creativity is dying to get out. Yeah. Robotic affirmations tired you out and didn't work. Yeah, I believe that. I tried it like only a couple of times and I had the same massive headache results and I was like, forget it. I can't do this. I have 100 ask-formations in my YouTube channel. You can just listen to that. They're like channeled questions to ask yourselves. They're like covering, again, all aspects of life. And try them one time. See, they're not robotic. They're recorded. It's like an 11-minute video. Yeah, if you're creative, you won't be able to do robotic. I don't think so. Has anybody had success with robotic affirmations on this chat? Like, if you have, let us know. Oh, thanks for you guys tried the video and you like it. Do you have anything on Spotify? Not yet. I have to look into doing something. It's just like, I'm not very technical. So every time I get excited, the manifestation leaves. That's because you're doing it as a spell. You don't know what robotic affirmations are. You can Google it on YouTube, and they're basically somebody saying, like, it's a machine, because nobody has the patience to stay there for half an hour and say this. They say, I am rich, let's say. I am rich, I am rich, I am rich, I am rich, I am rich. You go nuts hearing this robotic voice, and that's how I felt. I was like, I don't know. I always get what I want. I always get what I want. I always get what I want. It sounds like that too, right? So you're like, by the end of this, but people are looking, you see what happens is people are looking for shortcuts to doing the work. Okay, I want to cover an important thing, which is dreams. Dreams is a very important part of the work that I teach. Dreams are your subconscious way to show you your limiting beliefs. If you want your dreams to be meaningful, do not eat at least 3 hours before you go to sleep. Okay, because many times what happens, people are eating very late, they go to bed, and your dreams are not meaningful. They're just your body processing, digesting. Digestion is the biggest consumption of energy in the body, by the way. If you could digest less, you'd have more energy to manifest. This is quite literal. Okay, digestion takes an immense amount of energy. Okay, and if you need to, you can eat the same quantity of food, just eat it like twice a day, as opposed to eating it constantly, snacking, constantly making your body digest. Your body needs to pour energy into the etheric field to clear it, to bring forward other manifestation, especially overnight. So dreams, pay attention to dreams. In this work, I have a tab on dreams. You need to record the triggers. Okay, sorry, you need to record the dreams because they will show you some of the triggers. Is that why fasting is a thing? Yes. Yes, of course. The fasting was always a thing in every religion, and that's to clear the energetic field from the memories of the connection between thought, emotion, and physicality. Those connections leave a huge memory imprint on our energetic system. And this could happen with food. This could happen with, nowadays with the hookup culture, right? When you feel, again, this is not judgment. It doesn't matter with how many people you've been with. I'm just telling you what happens. When you have a thought, a desire, your heart, your physicality involved, that's going to leave an imprint in your energy system. If you don't know the person very well, you don't know what kind of imprint you're going to have. But that's going to create a memory there. I'm not talking just a memory in your head. It's a memory here. It's existing. And these memories, let's say there's 10 of them. Let's say there's 20 of them. There's hurt in this. There's more passion in this. All of this will confuse your energetic system. Your energetic system needs to be as clear as possible, especially when you're doing this work. Okay, when you're doing this work, what I advise, if you're single for the 60 days, try not to touch people. Go on dates to to see the world's reaction to you. Try not to get physical with people when you're doing this work. Just you're assimilating their energy. A lot of the people are depressed. They're not in a good state. And as you're doing this work on yourself, now you're introducing an element that's going to damage all the work that you've been doing, right? Just clear yourself. And then you'll also attract better people with better energy. I hope you guys get my meaning, what I'm saying. So, sorry, I didn't finish my thought on dreams. My thought on dreams is that everybody's goal should be for their dreams to uncover their limiting beliefs. And so expect some painful dreams in there. And for everybody to lucid dream. Who is a lucid dreamer here? Lucid dreams are very rare. They usually happen at the most a few times a year. At the most, I would say I have one maybe like once a year. Maybe twice a year if I'm lucky. Does anybody lucid dream? Do you guys know what that is? A lucid dream is a dream where you wake up and you know it's a dream. Okay? Now that, I know I'm dreaming and it's kind of confusing. You know clearly it's a dream and you know you can do anything in that world. It's like being in another world. I remember having one. I woke up in the dream and I was like, I'm in a dream. And I was on a street and there was a bus. And I was like, this is perfect. I can just jump in front of this bus just to see what it feels like when a bus hits you. You know, because I know like nothing can happen to me. It's a dream. And I just stepped in front of that bus with zero fear. And the bus just passed through me. And I was like, well, I guess this wasn't like a real experience, you know. But in my dream, I'm having these thoughts. I'm like, oh, I'm in a dream. So now I can do anything I want. I once walked up to a man on the street. And I said, hang on a second. I grabbed him by his face like this with my hand. And I said, do you know that you don't exist? I created you, you know, because this is like, I'm feeling this is my world now, right? It's my world. Like this people belong to me. It's a really incredible feeling of freedom and of fearlessness. It's like you really are the main character. And the reason it's important for you to get there in a lucid dream is because even though you're never going to be able to replicate these feelings 100% in your 3D world, right? Because there's consequences to our actions. You can't just walk to somebody on the street and do whatever you want with them. But in the lucid dream, you can love them, you can hurt them, you can do anything, right? This feeling of fearlessness, of being in charge of the world will imprint in your soul. And a portion of that will be carried through in how you conduct yourself in the 3D world. This is important. If you can bring even 1% of that feeling back, and this feeling would go against all your conditioning and all your education, right? If you can bring this feeling back, it will help you a lot with your confidence, with conquering some of your fears, etc. So I hope you all get to wake up in a dream. I hope you get to wake up. Don't be scared when you do. Just know you can do whatever you want. It's not because you have a reference point yet. You know your body isn't there. You know you're dreaming. Let's see if I missed anything because I got to wrap it up. All of this needs to come from the heart. Don't you agree? Yeah, you align your mind with your heart. The desire has to be in the heart. But the heart doesn't know what to do next. It just has a desire. The mind has no desires. The mind just works on programs. The successful manifestors, and what Joe Dispenza says, somebody's asking here, is making your desire the new paradigm of your mind. That's all that is. But, you know, people can't work with simple concepts like this. They need explanation. I've been learning manifestation for 3 years and I still feel like I'm at the same place. Do our group challenge and you will feel different. You might see even this much difference, but then you'll know it's something that works for you. I promise you'll see difference. If you don't believe me, somebody in the group should comment and tell her. Yeah, the bus. Yeah, we dream lucid when we're children, but we're not encouraged and we don't know what's happening. And many times we're scared to wake up in a dream because we forget our reference point as children. Tips to manifest a car. I have a specific video about a car manifestation. You teach the 3-number code in your program. It's available. The way to use it is available for in a video. I gave you all guys that tool a long time ago. By the way, my program is not like it's really like I made it the cost of a lipstick. Don't think it's like a $3,000 program or something, because I want everyone to do it. But the real price you pay for it is your time investment in it. It's really like you're paying yourself, right? It's just people, you know, I know it's not the cost. I don't understand why, like, there should be a lot of people doing it. And the reason, you know, there should really like be like 100,000 people doing it. It's just they're not doing it because they can't really invest in themselves. My videos are helpful and genuine. Thank you so much. Oh. All right. Gracias. De nada. Okay. So I think we're up. Guys, these were all tips in terms of educational tips on manifestation. You know, they're not tips usually talked about. I'm not following specifically Neville or someone else or law of assumption. Law of assumption doesn't really work for most people. I explained to you guys why. It's because people can't hold these assumptions on their day-to-day interaction, right? Assuming you're a millionaire and then going to the grocery store checking the price of cherries doesn't work. Millionaires don't do that. So immediately when you step out of that assumption, you're going to fail. You're going to fail in sustaining the assumption. So do it my way, okay? Invest 60 days in yourself. Do it my way. See what happens. All right, let's put our hands together. This is the end of the live. I'll be back Monday at 12. I do the 369 tapping with I am a winner. If you guys want to participate, it takes 30 seconds. One breath. I am a winner. 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 I am a winner.